Hello everyone, and welcome to our What's New webinar on the latest release of Cortana 3D software. We're thrilled to have you all join us today and learn about our exciting new updates and enhancements that we have made. Our team have been working hard to bring you the best possible user experience, and we can't wait to share them with you. In this webinar, we will be discussing major new features, improvements and changes. Whether you are the first-time user of Cortana 3D software or a seasoned pro, you will gain valuable insights into how the latest updates can benefit you and your workflow. A couple of admin points. You can post your questions as we go within Q&A chat. We will have a separate Q&A session in the end of this webinar when we will answer them. Recording of this webinar will be available shortly on our YouTube channel. The first new exciting feature we would like to showcase you is Composite illustrations, available now in Rapid Catalog and Rapid Illustrator. In the context of technical documentation, Composite illustrations implies combining multiple images into one, for example, different views of the same product under different angles. It is also common to find different assemblies presented on a single image or various insets. Previously, to create a composite illustration in Rapid Catalog, user had to manually combine different images into one. This process required a lot of manual effort, was prone to errors, and it was difficult to maintain such an image whenever changes had to be introduced later on. Now the whole process is taken care by RapidAuthor itself. User simply needs to create template image with placeholders for the views, and then to assign individual images to those placeholders. Template image can be created using Cortana 2D Editor Pro. Inside Object Gallery, you'll find a new object called View. Place this object on your image to act as a placeholder for your future inset. You can add additional objects in the template as required. Here we place several texts in the header and footer of the image. Once your template is ready, add it to your Rapid Catalog or Rapid Illustrator project. Right-click on your placeholders to assign pages or views to them. If required, you can open the resulting image for editing in Cortana 2D Editor Pro and enhance it further. It is possible to reposition views, change their dimensions, and so on. Finally, whenever there are changes in images used in the composite illustrations, composite illustration can be updated to take into account those changes. This can be done using update command, just as for any regular image. Let's look at another enhancement relating to illustrations. As you may be aware, vector illustrations created in RapidAuthor used to be black and white upon creation. Adding color to vector images required manual editing, such as injection of raster component beneath vector layer. In this release, we added the capability allowing to create raster background beneath vector image automatically. To enable this, go to 2D image options and check Generate Raster Background option. As we can see here, raster component is kept separately. This allows to edit vector elements independently. Let's proceed to the document authoring. In this release we made several improvements that should make your document editing much more convenient. Zooming in and out is probably one of the most obvious features that was missing. Likewise, adjust graphics width command quickly scales images to the appropriate width. Another improvement deals with tables under text on mode. Typically, documents are edited in text on mode. However, this makes editing of tables hard, since tables' constituent elements such as columns, rows and cells are displayed as text as well. From now on, under text on mode, tables are displayed as a normal view. If, however, you would like to have text on mode for tables as well, then you are free to use the corresponding command available in the lower toolbar of the document editor. One final enhancement allows to insert internal comments and processing instructions, which can be interpreted by external CMS systems. Please note that all of these improvements in the document editor do not affect final output and are only intended for authoring convenience inside Rapid Manual or Rapid Text. Those of you who have created procedures with the use of flexible host spline object from the object gallery may know that it can be rather tricky to assign complex movements to intermediate points of the host spline. To address this, a special object has been added called phantom box. This box is not visible in final publications, and you can attach intermediate points of the host spline to it. Hence, it is possible to create highly complex animations mimicking flexing, stretching, compression and other types of animations to the host spline object. In this example, several such phantom boxes have been added to the project, each tied to different intermediate control points of the red cable, which is a host spline object from the gallery. Then, each phantom box was assigned to transform action. The resulting procedure demonstrates removal of a cable plug from a battery. As you can see, each segment of the cable moves slightly different to each other. Other items or types of objects can be attached to phantom box as well. Several important changes have been introduced into the logic of update mechanism. First, whenever user manually assigns a non-default representation to an item, when that item is being updated, manually assigned representation is preserved. Previously, upon update, all representations for changed items reverted to default representation as defined in the import profile. The new logic of preserving previously manually assigned representations assumes that the user knowingly assigns specific representation for performance reasons, for example, and would like to keep it. Secondly, whenever user changes position of an item on a non-base page in Rapid Catalog or Rapid Illustrator project, when that item is being updated and also changes from a single item to a collection of items as assembly, manually assigned position is preserved. Thirdly, under circumstances when for some reason 3D item is missing yet metadata for it is being updated, it is possible to update corresponding DPL row in Rapid Catalog project. Previously, it was not possible to update DPL row when corresponding 3D item was missing. This new logic addresses the case when, for example, a user knowingly deletes 3D item as visual representation for an item is not required. To update DPL row, user has to enable Skip Update checkbox in the Update Wizard dialog and click Accept. One important element of S1000D is the concept of applicability. Applicability refers to specific products or systems that are covered by a particular technical publication. Applicability helps to ensure that maintenance and repair tasks are performed correctly and that technicians have access to the appropriate information for the specific products or systems they are working on. Applicability can be in scope of the entire data module or for specific content. For example, a certain paragraph of text may be marked as applicable only to a specific model or variant of a product, or only to a particular maintenance procedure. This allows organizations to create technical documentation that is tailored to specific products or tasks and ensures that users have access to the most relevant and accurate information for their needs. RapidAuthor already supports data module-wide and content-specific applicability. In HTML publications, you can already exclude or include substructures based on applicability. Previously, applicability could only be set in a raw format inside Document Editor of Rapid Manual or Rapid Text. In this release, we developed a new Applicability Editor for S1000D issue 4.1 and later that allows to define data module and content-specific applicability in a more convenient way. In case applicability cross-reference table data known as ACT is used, then Applicability Editor allows to set applicability as defined in ACT. This is not just convenient but also allows to avoid data entry errors. Applicability Editor can be launched from all RapidAuthor applications and also from TeamCenter when RapidAuthor connector for TeamCenter is configured. Demonstration on how to use the new Applicability Editor can be found on our YouTube channel. Two more publishing options been added. First, in all RapidAuthor specifications, you will find an option to display navigation cube in HTML publications. Navigation cube was introduced a few versions ago inside authoring interfaces to help improve navigation inside 3D scene. Secondly, in Rapid Catalog and Rapid Illustrator specifications, you will find an option to keep camera upright. This option restricts horizontal axis of the camera and may help in navigation as well. Let's now proceed to the image editing with Cortana 2D Editor Pro. First enhancement we would like to introduce here is user colors. Just like with object style library, it is now possible to store user-defined library of colors. It is especially relevant when your organization prescribes specific rules on the use of colors in technical illustrations. You can define your frequently used colors via HTML color code, for example, RGB color code or manual selection. The library of user colors can be exported to other workstations. The user color dialog is available from the Edit menu. Once you define your colors, they are available for selection in applicable elements of the Property Inspector window. The previous release of Cortana 2D Editor Pro introduced basic raster editing functionality. In this release, we continue to improve this subject. First, specific areas of raster element can be selected and moved, resized, rotated, and flipped. This can be done from the Object menu, Flip and Rotate category. Alternatively, handles on the drag select border can be used for this. Pass Transparent command allows to overlay raster elements on top of each other. Pass Transparent command is available from the right-click context menu. Finally, transforming raster image on the whole is possible with the two new dialogues, Resize and Rotate and Skew. These are available on the raster toolbar. The new Flip over Axis command mirrors selected object relative to the point you specify. To mirror object, first select object and click Flip over Axis command in the Transformations window under Rotate tab. In the Drawing window, place the pointer where the reflection line should start. In the Flip over Axis dialog box that appears, you can correct the line angle and set option to keep text direction. Note that some objects cannot be mirrored, for example, tables. When importing legacy vector illustrations, it may be required to add interactive hotspots to already existing callouts present on the image. This assumes that existing callouts in CGM or SVG image are represented as text objects. In that case, conversion can be made using the new command. Right-click context menu, convert to hotspot or callout. Note that if you are using convert to callout command, then callout object will be created with no leader line. Leader line can be added by setting a non-zero leader line count property in the Property Inspector. Legacy leader line can then be deleted. In case opposite is required, i.e. to remove interactivity from the image, then use unwrap command. This converts your callout to a box text and a line. Another new feature in Cortana 2D Editor Pro is a command called Make Mask. With it, you can quickly limit visibility of image elements without removing them. This command is a substitute to the existing commands called Protected Region and Clipping Rectangle. Unlike these two, the new Make Mask command is much more easier to use. To create a mask, select objects to be clipped and the reference object that should act as a mask, like a box in this case. Using right-click context menu, enable Make Mask. Two modes are available, Clip and Shield. Clip restricts visibility to the reference object, whereas Shield to elements that fall outside of it. Properties of the mask can be adjusted in the Property Inspector window. Mask can be moved as required. If required, several reference objects can be defined to describe complex mask area. To do this, select multiple objects and group them together into a figure. Let's now talk about data import. The new release supports the following new formats of 3D data file formats. This concludes the main part of our webinar. You can find information on other small changes in this release on our website under Resources Release Notes page. Feel free to visit our YouTube channel. In recent days, we prepared videos covering some of the new features that you have seen today. Please be advised that all Cartoon 3D products come with extensive documentation. Documentation is available in the form of PDF documents and embedded help, which are accessible from all of the authoring tools via Help, Contents menu. We also have online knowledge base on our website covering typical issues that some of our users encounter, as well as help articles.